though we know that Cameroon Anglophone is facing crisis, I want to really shift myself away from it and talk from a general broad stand of Cameroon, because I know other regions also are facing it. Northwest have just shifted some today. In weeks to come, if there are other Nigerian governors, they will do it. I want to say even what Lily Africa has done. I don't think that's all. If it has to go detail, many others will be revealed. But what we are saying here is that the government must build a system. They say we are working. When our president made a speech some time ago, he called it Android generation. I want to talk about the Android generation. We are talking about the fast forwardness of intelligence that is in technology. We want to say the government must invest in high technological system that data can be built and data can be checked. When you check out, it can be notified and things can be made. So in a nutshell, we want to see the government has much to put into place to check their employees. Without proper or adequate measures in checking their employees, this will keep happening. And I want to say, Mr. Moderator, no matter how much the government may do, there are certain issues in society that we can only fight, but can never be defeated. But it can move to a greater lowest percentage. For example, I want to tell you there is a law that you should not drive without license, but people still ply the road without license. So ghost worker aspect will still happen because corrupt individuals will never cease from any country. But I want to say the government should put in place diligent measures to fight.
Let me come to Mr. Iten Armstrong. All of us here are human beings who must have been sick at one time. If you go to the hospitals around, you realize that they have a kind of technology. Every worker who comes, there's a certain technology you touch at the entrance, indicates your presence and the time you come. Don't you think that if we are talking of computerized system, we are talking of an era of technology, that we shouldn't be facing such a problem?
You know, even technology has its weakness. That is why you can have a computer and at one point it freezes. So we are trying, Cameroonians are trying in technology as compared to some years back. The problem we have, I will repeat again, is a problem of insincerity and the problem of that has been on the self-interest somehow. Because when you look, either the technology is there or the technology is not there. Technology does not, at one point, a computer cannot come and tell you that this person is not, or this thumbprint is not qualified to be in this office. The computer is there to really know, and if a name is put in, the computer will not tell you that this name cannot benefit from this amount of money at the end of the month. So it boils down back to the issue of insincerity and at times corruption too. I'm sure that some of these budgets are allocated to those various stakeholders, but it is fashionable within our system today that once money has been given for a particular project, the head of that institution, instead of executing the project with with all his strength and with all what he has, they will start sharing the budget.
But
it has happened in many
it comes
sectors.
to what I wanted to ask. Could it be that our administrator or our fathers in high places are not exemplary? Because I heard somebody once made a statement, then wait a day for the minister, and then the na big money.
Yeah, I think that is the issue. And like Mr. Kufa mentioned here, it is obvious that in law, when you are coming to equity, you should come with clean hands. Okay. In as much as your conscience is not clear, and in as much as I brought you in to be an administrator because I want you to recommend me when this office will be up, or I want you to be behind me, you have an interest. You did not do it with clean hands. You have an ulterior motive. And with that ulterior motive, you always want to back me up, whether I am going wrong. So it boils back down to the issue of merit. People should be taking on merit. So permit me at this point say that if we are talking of the issue of ghost workers and people who are absentees, I want to draw a dichotomy between being absent from job due to illness, due to maybe the issue of maternal, being absent from job maybe because of insecurity, being absent from job maybe for going when you must have gone for further training and all those excuses. If you look at the labor code, the labor code in section 30 and 31 has made a lot of elaborate provisions for suspension and dismissal for people who have violated the rules.
Okay.
Now, but in this case of the Northwest and Southwest, I always try to be tactical. You know what the minister, the governor in Bamenda,
In the Northwest.
in the Northwest, sorry, really Africa is doing, is that he has failed to know that even though our labor code has not gone deep to highlight into issues of insecurity, but the labor code have made mention of issues of force majeure and issues of situations which are maybe beyond other people's control. In this case, it wasn't the fault of the teacher. Let me learn.
Please, you have taken so much time.
The issue of the teacher that gunshots should be behind his house, and at one point the principal is not there, the students are not there, and even the structures that has swallowed up everything. What do you expect of a teacher?
Okay,
Mr.
we
There is something
we'll be
he
taking
said-
a
there is
minute
something he
if
said.
we've gone
No,
right.
let him.
He raised something about force
Messi-
majeure. We should trash
yes.
that. That's an aspect in law
Yeah.
we raise.
Yeah.
We'll talk about force majeure.
Yes,
You
10
get me?
seconds, yeah.
There is one certain principle. You cannot benefit in work you are not
Not
doing.
doing.
So there is one thing, force majeure, look, force majeure can be rain, war can be looked in constitutional circumstances to be force majeure, but we cannot hold war to be force majeure because the whole community suffers from it. So even business people are suffering from it. So if you are not working, you should not earn money. I just want to
Okay.
say.
I will aggravate the situation.
Mr. Moderator, you were pointing at.
Okay, let me take your point. Let me take your point. Mr. You'll be talking on administrative. We have something called administrative tolerance.
Yeah.
And don't you think that this is one of the aspects? Because administrative tolerance, you find a situation where people absent from work for a very long time and nothing is being done. At times, they pamper them and so on. So don't you see the state is very fond of this?
Mr. Mambo Williams, that's what we call in education accountability. Let's be honest about this. People are supposed to love their country. They must have patriotism for their country. It's not easy. Those in government, it's not easy to manage a country until you are there before you understand. So nation building is, everyone is involved in nation building. The young, the old, the aged, the unskilled, the skilled, and those in government. And if you have an opportunity to have a matrical number and you are working with the state, you should be responsible. You should be self-responsible. You should be accountable, because we talk on accountability, and accountability is that all stakeholders must be accountable for their services. And why should you collect salaries when you are not working for that state? You are emptying the state treasury. That is on accountability. It's poor. It's a poor practice. And different people have different reasons. As we are talking, there are some stakeholders who are abroad. Mr. Moderator, last year I received a very sad message. I had this school friend of mine in secondary school, in high school. A young guy who got married about in his early 30s with a matrical number that has been working for about 5-6 years. And because of greener pasture, he was traveling to the United States through unorthodox methods. He went through those poor roads and he died there, keeping behind the young girl he got married to and a child, because he was going abroad for greener pasture and receiving a salary of more than 200,000. So we are saying here that the first issue is that we as citizens of this country, we must be accountable. We must be put to tax. We must be accountable. You must work for your country. You must work. You must sweat, because even the national anthem says that. You must work and toil for your country.
Dr. Busi, you started with a salary of 30,000.
And the private sector.
And now, don't, even if you are earning 100 now, don't you think that is because some of these people have not lived what I'll call simple life? And so at the beginning, maybe they are being placed somewhere by some connections. And so it makes...
Placing them in strategic places. Armstrong earlier said issue of meritocracy. You might take somebody's dream is to be a doctor, a medical doctor, at the end of the day, because you have connection, because your friend is the minister of secondary education, higher education, your friend is the minister of finance, your friend is the director of ENAM, your friend is a minister, and so on. You decide that your friend should just book one place for your child for the entrance examination into ENS. And at the end of the day, your son or your daughter doesn't even write the entrance and go into and have the matricle number. Do you think that your son or daughter will be able to exercise that career when he or she doesn't have the capabilities for it, the passion for it? Because teaching, first of all, is a vocation. Know that. No government can pay a teacher. No, there's no government on earth that can pay the work of a teacher. Teaching is a vocation. You don't force teaching, Mr. Mambo. Most of these people have gone into teaching because they want to earn money.
Is teaching? What I'm saying here is, could it not be that some people, when they start working, they are used to living luxurious life? And so, because if you put somebody like me, if I should earn 150,000 somewhere, I'll be very satisfied. I'm used to live a simple life. But maybe there are so no. Let me come to something. I want to have a view here. Because if you take the son or a daughter of a minister or a governor and pay that child even 200,000, maybe that child see it as nothing. But take that man who sells gateau by the road and give the child 200,000
It's just an issue of upbringing. It's just
that's what I'm trying to say.
It's just an issue of parenting. Yeah. It's just an issue of family culture. Yeah. It's just an issue of okay. So all those things, what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, whether you are the son of a minister, who says a son of a minister cannot be a secondary school teacher? Who says a son of a director cannot be a secondary school teacher? One matter is the passion and the willpower and the enthusiasm in you to save your country, but also looking at it from a different perspective. Yeah. Some of the teachers also at the level of basic education working with government, their pay package is not the best. A teacher goes to school, Mr. Moderator, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and receive a salary of 100,000 francs. And another teacher in secondary school a government secondary school teacher goes to school on Monday and Wednesday 2 times a week and receive a salary of about 280,000 francs, Mr. Moderator. So there's an imbalance. So I feel that government has to work on the pay package of teachers.
Okay. After Mr. John Mosiri, please, we'll just have 30 seconds to conclude on this topic. After him, they will go around. Mr. John Mosiri, there's something they call maybe 8 hours at work and 8 hours of work. Some analysts have said that this is also a problem. What's your take about that? Maybe the viewers who want to know what we mean of 8 hours at work and 8 hours of work.
Japan is one of those countries around the world that is known as a workaholic country because dead hours, dead period does not really exist in their work shift.
Okay.
Come to believe that when you get to work at 8 a.m. and you are to close at 3, if you sum up the number of hours you put to work, you roughly be 8 hours as you rightly placed. But within that time, nobody do count the period that you take to put on the machine.
Okay.
Beside that, the period that you are being distracted sometimes unnecessarily by your social media notification, the time you go for break, the time you spend on phone calls, the time you spend with colleagues talking on things that do not relate with business, the time you want to go and deliver a message and because of rain, you don't have alternative like an umbrella or a car that you can jump in and go. You see, our work culture now is now put on stake, which is not the problem of the individual as per se. Because now I'm talking as an employer. If I have to employ somebody in my company, it is my responsibility to make provision for work tools.
Yeah.
It is believed that in the absence of those work tools, the person will be spending 8 hours at work and might not possibly be productive.
And efficiency will be low.
I recently took part in one interview that they wanted an official, an administrative official of a particular company. As only the process was over, I discovered that the employer himself was not ready. He started traveling and asking, well, I hope this will not expose certain things, but I started asking that we should sit in for him and so on. So it became, we started wondering what was the intention. And government does same. It's true that I'm talking at the time when the concourse have dropped. The concourse seats nowadays has dropped. Take the case of ENS that used to be 15 in the years behind. This year is 5 for every department or division or program. Economics is 5 teachers. If you are asking for Marua, Bambili, Yaoundé, 5 teachers. And when you see the thousands of Cameroonians that are going to apply, and it means that the people who are fortunate to be employed sometimes do not measure. And I want to say that they don't measure also because of their employer. The employer is lax. But a lot of things were said in this platform that sometimes I should throw light on. 100,000 francs is no money, depending on your status in the society. Okay, when you are a principal of a school, all your teachers are under you, look up to you like a father. If there is an emergency, they want you to respond to it. And the work environment also have other extensions that sometimes we silence without knowing that they are complementary. Take the social aspect of work. Birthdays, marriage ceremony, baptism. When you are an administrator in a place and a subordinate is having such an occasion, you become,
have to assist.
by duty, the father of that event, and they expect you to open the floor, chairman, do something. Those are some of the things that it makes payroll small, and people can lightly quit their job for better opportunities. So we should not always caricature our own lifestyle to that of particular portfolio. No, people spend according to their position in the society. And I use this opportunity again to say, recently a newspaper titled that the director of budget at the Ministry of Finance some years ago was taken to court. I mean, Mr. Lebo. He was former president of the Unisport, which is bought in Unisport, in the West. And so there was a newspaper recently that produced an article to say that the current director of Treasury is cited in some of the fund mismanagement of that former director, and that director was alleged to be collecting per month more than 1 billion out of ghost. Because when we talk about ghost workers, it also includes workers that have died and whose case have not been reported. Yes, and they are like that, benefiting to a system that has earlier been mentioned.
Even during elections, we have people who have died, but their names are there.
Yes. So if I was to learn to talk about the labor codes, it comes back to the reinforcement measures. There was a program here 3 months ago when we were talking about the minimum pay wish of a worker that have been defied by the private sector and at the detriment of the workers themselves, because if they go to complain and their employer sack them, they are the middle of the Red Sea. When they turn to the left, their employer will shout at them. When they turn to the right, the government cannot employ them directly, and so they have no other choice than to work on a limited wage rate.
Okay, we just have 20 seconds each to conclude. We'll start with you. We'll get to Mr. Item, then to Dr. Then we'll come. What do you have to say as a conclusion to this? What remedy do you have to say in order to know we can limit it, but it cannot be wiped out?
Yeah, like
that's
said,
the truth.
We are talking about honesty. We must be honest. And if we have to keep integrity, the first thing is our integrity as humans. When you are expected to be treated well, learn to treat others well. So as Cameroonians, first thing we must understand is that we must build morality from within. We must know that we are not strangers in this nation. There is no place like home. We may travel to other nations, but Cameroon remains our home forever. We can always have perfect rest where we are in our nation. So we must build it to give it the international color we want. We must build it to give the scene of what we are fighting. Fighting for political change without self-change is all meaningless because it will just be a continuation of corruption, a continuation of bad governance. It will just like you are changing Peter to bring in Paul. But if we build from ourselves, we build integrity, we build honesty, we build morality, we build with God, we are going to change Cameroon.
Mr. Item Armstrong.
Yeah, I think within the public sector particularly, I want to say that there should be vision and objectivity because we should stop treating people as gods when they are in the public sector. That is what makes people to be reluctant. They feel, when you reach a particular level in life, you cannot deliver the goods any longer. Yeah. You feel as if you have already arrived. And workers at one point even believes that they owe nothing to the state, but they owe a lot to individuals who place them in the various positions. That is why you can meet a worker in a prominent position and he's telling you, this man has not yet given me the right to say anything. Why he was within the jurisdiction of his office, maybe to make a particular statement. And I want to also say that before we want to suspend, like what Lele Afri did, we should make sure that the reasons for the suspensions are founded. Because if we are suspending based on emotion or based on issue of maybe